guys, it's Nathara at CrowSong Lodge again. Yes, I'm batch recording these, and I am doing I forgot what day I was doing. Day 23 of Ethony Dawn's 31 Days of Tarot Challenge, and yes, this is the 18th of February. I'm way behind, I know. Today's prompt is to share a tarot deck that you just had to break up with. I'm not entirely sure what breakup means because I don't really date my decks. That'd be weird. But I'm going to assume it's a deck that you had to stop using or gave away because you just didn't jive. So that's the interpretation of that phrase I'm using. And I've actually had 3. And two of those are Oracle decks, and they're the Brian Froud Fairy decks. I had the Brian Froud Fairy Oracle and the Brian Froud Heart of Fairy. And for me, those decks were... I love fairies. I love Brian Froud, and I've loved his work since I was like 6. Okay, but the decks just didn't speak to me. They're too loosey-goosey. They're not systematized enough. They're just not a firm enough structure for me to use them because his decks were very much like, here's a vague guideline, but the fairies should talk to you themselves, and they didn't. And that's more me than them. And so it wasn't structured enough for me, and I just didn't connect as much as I would love to connect with the Fae folk. I'm deaf is what I think it is. So I didn't. So I gave them away to a friend of mine. And then someone, and I'm not sure who, someone sent me a copy of the Prisma Visions deck, and it's a beautiful deck. I know y'all out there just absolutely love it, and it is absolutely gorgeous as an art deck, but I just couldn't connect with it to use it in practice. And I love that thing where you spread out the minor arcana to create the long mural, so it has that long picture that tells a story. That is super clever and absolutely amazing, but it never spoke to me, so I also ended up giving that one away as well. So I tend to do that. I don't feel too bad if I acquire a deck that I don't jive with. In fact, I have another one, an Oracle deck, that I was talking to Esther about earlier, and it just, I bought it, and when it showed up, it had been greatly misrepresented what it was about, and it just isn't for me, and it's not going to speak to me, and eventually I will meet someone who will fit it perfectly, and I will give it away to them as well, and that's okay. And I think that comes from when the first time I lost a crystal, my mom was like, they do that, they wander off, and that's how it goes sometimes. Sometimes we are just the vehicle they use to get where they're going. And that's kind of how I feel when I buy a deck that I don't jive with. And that's okay. I can pick up the deck, I can learn about it, my curiosity is satiated, and then it eventually arrives where it was supposed to go, which is somewhere it probably couldn't have gotten to without me. And that's totally okay with me. So yeah, so those are my decks that I've let go of. Which is always kind of a weird thing, but people are much more open to use decks these days, so it's much better than it used to be. So that's my day 23. Nathara at CrowSong Lodge, signing out.